y'all. So I was editing my week 2 Stitch Mania update, and I could have sworn that I had footage for this project, but I for the life of me cannot find it. I must have accidentally deleted it or something. So this is coming a little bit late, but whatever, we're just gonna have to deal with it. So on Monday the 8th, so just about a week ago, I started Seaside Kingdom by Mirabilia. This is the project that I have been coveting forever, and I finally got it started. And needle minders here, a sand dollar. I believe that came from Gina's Unique Boutique, but it might have been, actually, no, I think that one did come from Jolie at Nifty Needle Nannies. This one I know came from Jolie. Hi Jolie, thank you so much for this. This was a gift from Jolie, a birthday present. She said that it would look fab with my Seaside Kingdom, and she's right. So perfect for this project. Anyway, so last Monday I started this on 32 count Belfast in Beach Walk by Under the Sea Fabrics, and I'll just go ahead and show you the progress that I had made. Gosh, I'm so bummed. I just had a really nice clip for this and it's just gone. Anyway, I have no idea what any of this, like, if I didn't know any better, I wouldn't know what any of this is. So this long purple line here is the very top of the topmost turret on this castle. And then there's this little flowery looking shell as depicted there. And then these dark shades here correspond to these dark shades here. And a lot of the sandcastle relies on negative space. So I'm really hoping that that's going to turn out okay with my fabric color, because my fabric is a lot darker than theirs. You know, they use like a vanilla latte kind of color. Let me see what the color is. White. Not even vanilla latte. White. So I'm hoping that this is going to look okay. I think that it will be just fine because my fabric is pretty sandy colored. This spot in particular is looking a little green, but it is really sandy colored. So I think that it's going to be just fine. So I guess we'll see. We shall see. Okay, back to the rest of the video. Solution for me. So today I'm working on Maze Lily of the Valley. I started this during Mania last year. This is not my Mania project today, but I am in the mood for a finish. I'm feeling a finish. I haven't had a major one since March, March, and I just feel like finishing some things. So this is pretty close to finished, and I don't know that I mentioned it, but it replaces one of my Year of Whips projects. We're getting a Thor incoming. There he is. This replaced one of my Mania projects because I just wasn't feeling like finishing that. Or not Mania, Year of Whips. So I'm just going to show you where I'm starting off today. Yeah. I really, really love this project. This is on a 32 count Belfast in Platinum by Zweigart. And I'm stitching it using all of the called for threads. There's some, let me see, peek at the chart here behind the camera. There is Gast and DMC. And that's it. I thought there was weeks, but there's weeks in the other one. Anyway, so that's where I'm starting out today. I will switch to my Mania project for the day in a little while, but I just want to get a good chunk of this done. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of work to be done. I still have to finish all of this basically, all of this border. I have these little guys in here. I have started on one of the leaves and one of the, I guess, bows of lily. I still have this border and all of this, so I have quite a bit left to do. This isn't going to be like a super quick finish, but I just, for whatever reason, I just love stitching on this. And so I'm going to work on it a little bit here and there every day and see if I can get it done. So anyway, that's it for now. I will check in a little bit later when I switch projects, or when, I guess when I switch projects. All right, I'll be back. Hey guys, so it's a couple hours later. I don't know that I'm switching projects necessarily because I'm really loving this. But I am gonna get set to film my birthday sal recap because that was ended 2 weeks ago. Sorry about the ding for the email. That sal ended 2 weeks ago. I promised my update video 2 weeks ago, so I probably need to do that recap. So I'm stopping here, and so what I did was I filled in the green on these blue flowers. Well, let me kind of walk you through my process here. So I was saying to myself, I'm like, Jess, all right, what is a reasonable goal to achieve before you switch to your Maynia project today? Because I do need to get to my Maynia project today. And I said, all right, well, let me just go ahead and finish out this blue color. And so this blue color is these little guys in here and then these little flowers in here. And that's it. That's the end of that color. So then I was like, all right, that's not enough. Let me see what else I can do. Well, let me go in and add in the darker color here to fill in those flowers. I don't have a length of that cut for whatever reason. So what else can I do? Well, let me do the white because this third lily of the valley down here was only halfway done. So I thought, all right, well, let me fill in these guys and then I'll finish off those. So I did that. And I was like, well, let me just go ahead and finish that white color. Well, there's more of the lily of the valley over here, but I'm not quite there yet. So now what? Do I stop? No, let me do something else. I want to do some more. So I was like, well, let me work on this color here. And this is Weeks Dye Works Gassed in Weeks Dye Works Gassed, honestly. It is Gentle Art Sampler Threads in their Simply Shaker series, I think. I'm trying to grab it. It's over here. Yeah, Simply Shaker series in chives, and I love that green. It's just quintessential green to me. So I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and stitch in that. So I get to the end of that, which is right here, and I was like, you know, actually no, there's 5 of those and there's 6 total, so I don't even know. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking. Okay, well, whatever. So I ended off here. And, oh, that's what I was thinking. Okay, backtrack a little bit. So I was going to come down here and do this bottom border here, but I really like to work down. And so if I did that bottom border, then I was going to have to work up to do this little chunk of fence here. So I thought, well, let me just end where the thread ends there. And then when I get the fence in, then I can go in and add the chives in afterward for that very bottom border. So then I was like, all right, well, let me come over here and I'll do this leaf. And so I got about part the way down the leaf and I was like, well, I might as well finish out the leaf. So I finished out the leaf and then I finish out this one here because I had a few stitches to do in there. And then I had a whole bunch of thread left on my needle. So I was like, well, let me just come up here and I'll do this. Well, then I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to finish out the length. So like basically my original plan was just to do this one color and then switch projects, and here I am, like, rationalizing why I keep going. I can't be the only one that does this, but I am going to stop now because I did finish out that length of chives. I don't have any of it left until I pull off a new length. And I'm going to go film, and then I'll get back to this. I need to get to my Maynia project for today, but I just love this. Part of it, I think, is getting to work with some hand-dyed threads. All of my Maynia starts, yeah, all of my Maynia projects this year are DMC. They're 100% DMC, or blended with some Krennics and whatnot. So I'm not working with any hand-dyeds this year. So maybe that's part of it. Part of it is also, I'm not gonna lie, it's the fabric. This fabric is so good. Yeah. It's just a nice fabric to work on. So anyway, there's that. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna go film and ramble on a different video. Here's a quick view of Thor snoring. No surprises there, he does that. Okay, see you guys in a little bit. Okay, y'all, it's a few hours after my last clip. Doing the responsible thing. And I'm packing this one up for now. So I will be back in just a second to show you what my project for the day is. Okay, next project loaded up. This is Beauty and the Beast, although I think she's renamed it Belle, by Stitch. And here we have it. This is where I'm starting out today. Thor was really interested in what I was saying just there. He practically stopped breathing. So I'm gonna probably work more in the rows. I kind of love this project. Last year when I started it, so this was a Stitch Maynia 2016 start. When I started it, I was listening to Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses, on Audible as a reread in anticipation of the sequel, A Court of Mist and Fury. Just a few days ago, the third book in the series, A Court of Wings and Ruin, was released, but I still haven't read the second book because I'm a terrible reader like that. I start a whole bunch of series and I'm bad at continuing. But the reason that that's relevant and the reason that sticks in my memory is that Court of Thorns and Roses is very reminiscent of Beauty and the Beast. It's kind of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast in its own fantastical way. And so I kind of linked the two. And apparently A Court of Mist and Fury is Persephone, which, you know how I feel about Persephone. But I don't know about A Court of Wings and Ruin because I won't read anything about it since I haven't read the second book. Anyway, this is my starting point. I'm going to get to stitching. I have a video currently uploading to YouTube that is my birthday sale recap. So once that's done uploading, I will watch some FlossTube, I think, and stitch. So I will check in a bit later. See you then. Hey guys, just a real quick one here. I'm about to go to bed, but I just kind of wanted to drop in and show you guys the progress that I made today. I did pretty darn good. So as I said before, Beauty and the Beast, Donna Stitch, also known as Belle, which I think she's changed the name to. And so what I did was this outline of this pink petal here. I finished that pink petal. And I've done a lot of the outline of the light pink up here and a whole bunch of the red. So that's my progress on that for today. I'm using this for an ultimate cross stitch group stitch along, and so I did my counts, and so I did 560 stitches, which is amazing, truly amazing. So anyway, that's that. I'm off to bed. See you guys tomorrow. Can we just take a second to admire the fact that I don't have to grid. I wish that I could express to you guys just how excited I am that this whole thing is gridded. And it's a big one. Here, let me cover up the chart, move that out of the way. Okay, so I'm just gonna pan across this thing. It's massive. These are my 30-inch Millennium bars, so these are my big bars, and it fills them. Yeah, this thing's gonna be huge, but there's also like a ton of margin. So like I've got 5 inches on the sides and 7 inches on the top and bottom, so lots and lots of margin. So what am I starting? If my needle minders don't tell you. Y'all, I'm so excited. I was half tempted to start in this corner because, as I told you guys, that Swans Reflecting Elephants, that is my heart, but I decided to save that till later because I will get to stitch it, but I'm gonna go and do my normal thing and I'll start over in this corner, which is also happy. There's some confetti in there and there's some pretty colorful balloons. And I think the page margin goes to about there and to about there. So I'm gonna get an elephant butt in this one as well. Y'all, I am so excited. Actually, you know, looking at this, maybe I need an elephant needle minder. Because I have 2 death head moths. Yeah, I think this one needs to be an elephant. So I'm gonna swap for an elephant. Okay, well, I am going to get to stitching. Once I settle Thor down, he's weird this morning. He's like talkative and whimpery and I don't know. He's being a weirdo. So anyway, I'm going to get to stitching. My goal is to try to get 1,000 stitches done today on this. I don't know if that's going to happen because just like I just said, there's some confetti right off the bat. But we'll see what we can do. Okay, guys, I'll check in later. Hey y'all, it's just after 11 and I'm getting ready to head to bed. I just thought that I would check in and show you the progress that I got done today. It's kind of smallish because one of the purples up in here I was out of and I had to steal it from another project. And then I filmed and edited and all that jazz. And then the caps were on the Washington Capitals in Game 7 versus Pittsburgh, and we lost. So it's been a day. I haven't filmed much today. Not hardly anything at all, but not a whole lot to say, really. It got the first purple balloon in, and it looks way different than I was expecting it to. That's okay. And then the tip top of this pink one here. So yeah, 600 stitches today, which I guess isn't too bad, all things considered. 600 stitches to go, like 250,000, 600 stitches down rather. I'm getting sleepy, can you tell? 250,000 some odd to go. A long way to go here, but that's okay. So Mania Day 10 is in the books. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, y'all. Good morning. It's about 9 a.m. and I am finally sitting down to stitch. It's been a bit of a struggle this morning. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, you'll be really glad that I didn't film me sneezing because that was loud. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been struggling this morning. We went to bed kind of late, and so getting up this morning was really difficult. But I'm up and I showered, and I'm gonna sit down and stitch. So today is a whip day for Stitch Maynia, day 11. And this is the Queen Mermaid by Mirabilia. It's Mirabilia design number 57. And here's where I'm at with it. The fabric that I'm using is a 32 count Belfast in As You Wish by Under the Sea Fabrics. This was the fabric of the month for April of last year. And so I've got Under the Sea fabrics, I have a mermaid, and this needle minder that I got from Leslie's stash unload thing. It was the only thing that I was able to snag. But I thought it was fitting. Leslie and her love of mermaids, and a retired Mirabilia mermaid, and Under the Sea fabrics. It all just kind of goes, and I love this fabric. It's really pretty. So I'm probably going to work on down the tail today. Let me see where I'm at. I'm about in this region, so I'm going to see if I can get into the tail. I can't say that I'm going to finish it because that looks like a big swatch of just one color, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to do a couple hours on this, and then I want to switch to Maze Lily of the Valley, but we'll talk about that a little later. It is a gloomy, rainy day here this Thursday, and I was planning on filming my week 1 Mania, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It's really gloomy. You're not going to be able to see anything because of the light, and it looks so green. And Bulldog snoring because that's life. It's so green, but it's dark and gloomy and rainy, which is beautiful, but it makes me want to take a nap. It does not make me want to film. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, this is where I'm starting, and I'll check in later. Bye-bye. Hey y'all. So stitching update coming here in just a minute. But I have some exciting developments in the world of my Fairy Hill shawl. And that is that I have just added in my second color. So according to the pattern, I am almost at 55% complete. I am working on row 99 of 135, and I am so excited. So I'm going to show you this real quick. This is all I've got left of the, what color was this? Electric Mauve. So not a whole lot left there. I haven't weighed it yet, so I don't know exactly how much I got left. And then my second color is this beautiful gray tabby, which I think is so gorgeous. I'm so excited to see it play together with the electric mauve. So that's what I'm working on right now. As soon as I finish up this first row of the gray, I think that I'm going to switch over and stitch until bed. I'm trying to make this update here real quick, and I'll explain it maybe tomorrow. But I am currently watching some FlossTube that is good for the soul, and that is, oh, it's not gonna focus, Dina. There we go. Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch. Yeah, just good for the soul. So I'm knitting and having my water and being soothed by this very, very nice lady that I hope to get to meet at some point in my lifetime. Anywho, that's it for me for now. I'll check back in a second your time, in a few minutes my time. Hello everybody, good morning. It is Friday, May 12th? Yes, Friday, May 12th, 2017. And I am here to update you on the project that I worked on yesterday for Mania. Sorry I didn't get my update in yesterday. Not that it'll matter to you since you're watching this all kind of cobbled together. But yesterday I was working on the Queen Mermaid, and this was of course a whip. I ended up falling asleep before I could film, and you know how it is. So I didn't get anywhere close to the goal that I had set. So I had talked about trying to get down into the tail a little bit, and then I had talked about pulling out a different project after a few hours. And what ended up happening is I worked on this side of the tail and some of these leafy green bits, and then this part of the, whatever that is, like the sash, I guess? We have a mermaid wearing a sash. Alright, that's cool. So I did a little bit of that, and then I spent the rest of the day, what did I do yesterday? Oh, I was doing some adulting things, and I was knitting yesterday. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for yesterday. Apparently when I record face to face, I get FlossTube itchy nose, and when I record hands only, I sneeze a lot. I don't know what it is. I'm allergic to FlossTube. That's a problem, because I really like FlossTube. Anyway, I'm just rambling and talking nonsense now. I haven't yet kit up my project for today, so I guess I need to get to doing that. I might start with Lily of the Valley this morning, just because I want to, and then I'll kit the new start up a little bit later, because I didn't get to Lily of the Valley yesterday, and I'd like to. So yeah, I think that's my plan. So here in just a second, you'll be seeing where I'm starting my day off. Check back in a second. Okay, we're all loaded up and I'm about to get started stitching. I think what I'm going to do first is finish up this border over here, so a little bit to go on that side. Start there and we'll see where the day takes me. Okay guys, that's really all I had to say. See you later. Guys, I need your help. And like, I know you're not going to see this until after the fact, but I legit can't stop. I keep trying to just put this down and move on, but I'm just having so much fun with it. I just love this so much, and I can't even really express why. So here's what I've done for the last couple hours. I finished out that border like I had planned, carried on and did some of the leaves. I finished out the length that I had pulled off, so I just stopped there. Then the same thing happened with the white here, so I got a couple more lilies done. So then I was like, well, I need a snail, and oh my god, is that not the cutest little thing? And so then I had to do his less daredevil-y friend down here, because this one is sitting on a plant. That's brave. And this one down here is like, dude, you're crazy. And so because I had some of that left over, I came up into the Eyes on the Birds. The Eyes on the Birds, it calls for DMC 310, and that is the only place that 310 is called for. So I was not cutting off a whole length for that. Nope. So my little bluebirds have brown eyes. What color is that? I can't even remember what that color is called. It is aghast in tarnished gold. So yeah. But for all intents and purposes, it's a variegated brown. So then I was like, well, let me finish out the thread and I'll do some of the fence. And this here is the start of my next thread. And I can't stop. I need to kit up my project for today, but I don't want to. I just want to stitch on this. That's all I want to do. So maybe I will. Maybe Mania today is a manic finish because I'm just obsessed. Ugh, I don't even know why, but I am. So anyway, just thought I'd check in. Thor is snoring. It's raining again. Happy Friday. Okay, I'll be back later. Hey guys, how's it going? It is Monday, May the 15th. It's about 7:30 in the evening. I am just now sitting down to do some stitching. I haven't been, had a bit of a headache today and I just haven't gotten down to stitching just yet. But before I do, I need to talk about this weekend. So I didn't vlog at all this weekend. You saw my last clip just now where I was talking about maybe possibly just sticking with Lily of the Valley until finishing. And yeah, that's what I did. I stuck with that until finishing. And I don't have it here to show you because I'm going to show it in my update video later this week. But I do have the other projects that I worked on over the weekend to talk about. So on Friday, I was scheduled to start Taurus by Satsuma Street. And this was just recently released. I ended up not starting it until Saturday, and I'll explain why here in just a second. But I was supposed to start this on Friday. I was planning on starting it on Picture This Plus Tarnish, but with how blue this design is, I mean, there's blues everywhere. I thought that it would get lost in that fabric. And I don't have anything, I didn't have black. I mean, I don't have black in my stash. And I didn't have any cream or anything like that. So what I did was I pulled this. This is 32 count Belfast from Zweigart in Silver Moon. And I had originally pegged this project or this fabric for February by the Cricut Collection. But since I'm probably not going to get to that until February of next year, I thought, let me pilfer this fabric so that I can get this start. So Friday, after I finished Lily of the Valley, Danny and I went, we went to town. We went and had dinner, and we had to go get a few things. And by the time we got back, I was beat. Like, I was just exhausted, so I didn't stitch anymore after we got back. So I ended up making this start on Saturday. Well, Saturday was kind of a busy day too. I didn't get up until late. I had a really hard time getting up on Saturday. And then we went to go spend the day with Danny's parents to celebrate Danny's mom's birthday and Mother's Day. We had some really good lunch. Danny grilled out some steaks. It was like a really nice time, and we just hung out over there. But we didn't get back to the house till about like 6:30. Then we had dinner. And then I had to not only get this project taken care of, but then I also had my other project for the day. So I didn't get a ton of stitching in that day. But, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I did do. And look at that. Isn't that cute? I got like, what, 20 stitches there? And they all have to be ripped out. So, oh, and my needle minder is a Bulldog from, I'm going to say that this one is from Julie at Nifty Needle Nannies. And I have my other one from Brenda at Brenda's Minders and More for a different project. Anyway, so the reason that all of these stitches have to be ripped out, let me go ahead and pull it down so you can see this. This is the center of the design. And so I've got about 3, 4, maybe 4.5 inches clearance off the top. Now this design is small. I mean, I'll pull it back up here. It's little. So what you see there, that stitching is this part right in here. So I don't have a whole lot to go up there, but I still have some stitching to do up there. So here's what happened. The fabric that I had was a fat quarter, 18 by 27. And I thought, well, this design is small, so let me cut that in half. So I have a 9 by 13, or 9 by 18. Then I was like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know, it's really small. I bet I could fit 2 of these on here because I was planning on doing the Taurus and the Capricorn for Danny. Well, I didn't put it into the fabric calculator or anything. I just went with Jody's recommendations, and Jody's recommendation is that stitched on 14 or 28 count, this design is 5¼ inches wide as well as tall, so it's a square design. And she recommended a 9 by 9 piece of fabric in order to accomplish that. So I was like, well, that's perfect, because if my piece here is 9 by 18, then I have well over enough, especially since I'm doing mine on 32 count. So I centered the design on the top half of the fabric and went to town. Well, then I got to thinking, as you do after you make a decision about something, and I realized that if this design is 5 inches wide, 5 inches tall, that means that I have 4 inches margin total, which means that I have 2 inches on the top. That's ridiculous. That's way too small. It's way too small. So I'm going to rip out those stitches. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of them, and I'm just going to center them on this fabric. And then if I do Capricorn, I'm going to do it on the other half. Because 2 inches is, I mean, that's just insane. It's just insane. It's insane. So, not dealing with that. I'll rip out those stitches and I'll start over. So, then my actual project for Saturday. So my project for Saturday the 13th, it was a whip day. And the whip was Horror Movie Alphabet by Clouds Factory. And you'll be seeing a preview of what this is going to look like finished because I don't have one handy. And let me just lay this over top. We'll just do that. Okay. So I had started this and I've worked on it a few times over the last year or so. And what I got done was not a whole lot again. So I started on Beetlejuice's head. And he looks really, really bizarro right now. But that's okay because this is the Horror Movie Alphabet. I debated back and forth on whether I was going to finish out Ghostface or start on Beetlejuice. And I just went ahead and went with Beetlejuice. I thought it would be good to get the top row done. That would feel pretty good. So decided to go with that. But I mean, like, there was no way I was going to finish Beetlejuice because I was exhausted. It was a long day. And so, like, there was no way. So I did, you know, like maybe 100 stitches that whole day. So sad. But that's okay. It's a little bit of progress. So as I was saying, there's my teeny tiny little contribution to the May edition of Dark 13 Stitching. Yeah, hope to do better next time. So there's that. I don't think that I mentioned this is 32 count Belfast. The fabric is 32 count Belfast in Lycan's Moon by Under the Sea Fabrics. aka affectionately referred to as dried blood. Gotta love that. Okay, so then Sunday, May 14th, Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, we got up really ridiculously early for a Sunday. And we drove up to Northern Virginia to surprise my mom for Mother's Day. Much like we did last year, I'm surprised that she was surprised, because I thought for sure she'd be expecting it. But she wasn't. So my brother came down from DC. We came up from where we are, met up at her house, surprised her with bagels and yogurt and all of her favorite things, and just kind of spent the morning at her house. And then she started to fall asleep, so we left. And I mention that because my mom is notorious for falling asleep, and she watches my videos, so I just kind of wanted to stick that in there. Anyway, so we get home, and I just didn't feel like stitching. I am starting to feel tired of the new starts. I've got a different focus this year, and this is a lot of new starts for me. So it's hard for me to get motivated to make a new start, but I had to, because that was the plan. So my planned new start for Sunday was Aladdin by Donna Stitch. And I was planning on doing that on 32 Count Belfast in cream by Zweigart, which I always get at my Hobby Lobby. And for the last 3 weeks, they haven't had none whatsoever. And I've never been able to get more than one from there at any given time. But they've had 0. And I hemmed and hawed. I'm like, all right, do I order a piece of fabric? Well, I'm kind of running out of time. Do I pick a different project? I don't really want to do that, but at this point, my hands are kind of tight because I don't have fabric for that. And I want to do the whole series on the same type of fabric. And since Beauty and the Beast is on that cream, I need to have this on the cream. So since I can't do that, I guess I got to pick a different project. And so I did. So I started something small because basically everything that I've started for Mania this year has been big. So I needed something small and just to put a few stitches in and call it a day. And so that's what I did. So I put in a few stitches. And I put in 1 length of floss. I didn't even center it. Like I'm minimal effort here. I didn't even center it. But I got it started. So this is the 14 count perforated paper that came with the kit. And this one's really cute. There's only like 4 colors of floss for stitching, and there's a 5th color for beading. But other than that, it's going to be like a really quick project. And I kind of like the little accents of green. That's pretty. I have done, let's see, it shows the other Love ornament collections here. I've done Love Coffee. I need to do Love Stitching. And maybe Love Halloween. Maybe I just need to do the whole set because, you know, that's a thing that we do. We have to do the whole set. Anyway, so that was the progress that I made yesterday. Not a ton, but a little bit. I put some stitches in a project. And that, ladies and gentlemen, finally concludes week 2 of Stitch Maynia 2017. I am ready to get into week 3. Week 3 for me is a short week because for me, this event ends technically on the 29th, but I'm only having this daily rotation thing through Wednesday, but I've talked about this in my Mania Plans video. So that's all I have to say about that. I will check back in a moment, but you won't see it until my next update video with my project for today. All right, guys, see you later.